Hey, what's up, guys? Before the podcast starts, we're going to give a few shout outs to some people. All the links will be in the description below, so check everybody out.
Just want to give a shout out to everybody at the shop. Demetrius, Cody, Travis, Alex, Danny, Matt, Luke, all you guys. Appreciate you guys working with me this year, and thank you for keeping me motivated. Everybody at Stay True Barbershop, Mike, Austin, thank you guys for working with me through the remodel process, and hopefully we'll be getting that up going this year. And a special shout out to my sponsorship, Reborn Aftercare. If you aren't using Reborn after you get tattooed, you definitely should be. Great sponsor, and hope you guys enjoy the podcast.
I want to give a shout out to Killer Labs. Use code Perry's Powerhouse 15% off all supplements. And Austin, he cuts my hair, so if you want to get your hair cut, obviously Shannon does my tattoos.
Hey.
Austin can cut some good ass hair. So descriptions below, all the links. So you can introduce yourself.
My name's Shannon Volz. I'm from Mansfield, Ohio, born and raised. I have 5 beautiful children. I own Outer Mind Creations Tattoo Studio at 582 Park Avenue West, and I own Stay True Barbershop at 446 South Main Street.
So pretty much like a lot of the excuses that people would make, like the arguments I've had before, is like they said I only like became successful because I went to the military. So we're gonna spin it and we're gonna talk about like how you started and then go from there.
Right on. I definitely did not go to military or anything like that. I actually dropped out of high school when I was 17. I had my first son, Cody, and went straight to work, started washing dishes and hanging drywall with my stepdad. Complete opposite as far as like going to college or any schooling or anything like that. I was homeless for a little while, kind of fucked off for a real long time before I finally got it together. So as far as motivation, you know what I mean, it can be with whatever way you start out in life, you know what I mean? It's more of a you thing rather than not everybody comes with a silver spoon or has got a good foundation, I guess, as far as like the military or going to college or something like that.
Do you wake up motivated every day?
No, not at all. Actually, a lot of times you just want to lay there and go back to sleep. But, you know what I mean? You got to, especially when you have kids, that really changes it, you know what I mean? Because they didn't ask to be here, so you got to give them a better life, you know what I mean? So.
Because I get that question a lot, like, how do you stay motivated? Like, you don't. Like,
You definitely don't stay motivated.
You just gotta find it in yourself to kick that fucking gear in when you wake up and just do it. Like, because no one's gonna do it for you, especially when it comes to like being in the business world. Because it's weird. Like, I was watching a TikTok and it's so true. Like, they're like, well, when you start to finally work for yourself, it's easier to be lazier, which is true because you can't get fired.
Because nobody can. You hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like if you start building up those routines, like I have the same thing I do 7 days a week. Like my first 4 hours of my life is the same every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I wake up at the same time. I go to the same coffee shop. Like listen to a podcast on the way to the coffee shop. Like nothing changes. It's always the same. And I feel like once you get those routines down, though, consistency builds, you know what I mean, success. It really does.
I do the exact same thing. Like right before I go to bed, I listen to like nighttime affirmations, and then when I wake up, when I'm brushing my teeth and like getting ready for the day, I listen to like a 5-10 minute positive, like good morning affirmation.
Right.
And then I do that same. I have the exact same routine every single day. Like I get up, do that, go to work, do the exact same thing on lunch, come home, work out at the exact same time, and I just repeat the day after day after day.
Right. And then one big thing I see like. Because I follow a lot of that stuff on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that, is that there's just no key for success though.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like what works for you
in
your like system might not work for me. You got to find like what's comfortable for you. You know what I mean?
Routine that works for your brain.
Exactly. Because everybody is different. We're all hardwired differently. That just goes back to like what you've been through in life and like how you think, how you break things down. You know, but like for me, I go to work at 2 hours before I need to start tattooing just so I can like think clearly and like just kind of get a lot of my like other business stuff out of my head before I start tattooing, you know what I mean? That way I can like put my best self out there, you know? So it's like drink coffee, listen to a podcast, and then just sit there and like, I don't even turn the lights on at the shop, I just sit there and chill.
I work in the dark.
You know what I mean? Just sit there and chill, drink my coffee. I might have a podcast going and I'm looking over drawings for like, not even just that day, but like the whole week. Maybe even the next week, or if I have like a show coming up, I'm looking into those drawings, like seeing what I want to tweak and stuff. There's,
Like,
I think the biggest thing I hate is the, it must be nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It must be nice. I fucking hate
I always
that.
say, all right, I'll pray for you.
Yeah.
We were just having that conversation. But, I mean, ours is a little different, though, because obviously I'm not a tattoo. But I work in the dark, and that makes my mindset work so much different. Like, because I'm in a relaxed state of mind. And then I got Brandon doing the same shit at work.
Yeah, man. It
Like,
really
and it
does
just,
help.
like, focuses me on the day. I don't know what it is about me sitting in the dark. I just perform better.
They used to, I used to, like, the one podcast I listen to all the time, like, I think damn near every fucking guy listens to is probably the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
He does that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? An hour and a half in the salt tank, no lights, no nothing, you know what I mean? It just, I feel like it's almost because you, like, your eyes can't see everything, so you're
Right.
not, like,
So you're-
constantly, like,
yeah,
studying
exactly.
things. You're just,
You're
like,
focused.
you're stuck in your head.
Because when I have my lights off in my office, like, obviously the computer's the brightest thing. So
Right.
I have, like, my whole full attention on that.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to get distracted because it's the same thing, like anything you do in life, like if you focus your key points on that, what you want to get to, like you'll get to it faster.
It's the same thing as, like, if you buy a red car and you think about a red car, you're going to see red cars everywhere.
you see them
know what I mean?
everywhere.
It's the same thing. Anything, if you get your head on consistency of, like, success, you're going to become successful. Because all these different, like, problems thrown at you, you just look at them as those different hurdles. You know what I mean? Something you want to overcome, and then it just becomes something that I did. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if you overcame something, it just becomes something like another notch in your belt, another win.
That car thing's true though, because I just bought that Chrysler 300, and now I see
Swear,
them.
bro.
I see them everywhere.
About a fucking Equinox. I hate Equinoxes. I see them everywhere now. I fucking hate it. But it's so true, dude. You see them everywhere.
So do you think? Because I'm like a big believer that not everyone has it in them. So like, do you think motivation or like just the drive to be better could be taught to everyone? 'Cause
No.
I don't think it can.
No.
I think like
It's
you either have to
definitely a
like
mindset thing.
something in your life has to happen to where you're like fuck this, or you already have it in you.
It's either like I think it's like something happens and you're like, fuck this, or you're raised by like an older brother or
Right.
a parent that like has a fucking work ethic, like it just never
Yeah.
stops. You know what I mean? It's like, if you see that shit day in, day out, you're
Right.
gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like if, like it's like goes back to like if you're raised by like an alcoholic, you're either gonna fucking drink your ass off
Or
or
not
you're
drink at
not
all.
going to drink at
Yeah.
all. You're gonna go one way or the other. And I feel like it kind of goes with that, with like being a workaholic too. Like my kids see me work my ass off every day, so they're either going to be like really successful and they're going to work hard too, or I might fucking be a pizza guy and live in my basement. I don't know.
Yeah.
It should probably go either way though, you know.
And it's weird though, because like this, not like let's say you have like 5, 6, or 7 brothers and sisters. Half of them could go one way, half of them could go the other way.
That's literally how my family was.
Because like my brother was like my biggest motivator growing up, because I saw him work like 16-hour days.
Yeah.
And like this is nothing against my sister, but she's nothing like us. Like she just likes to
Yeah,
go to work.
and that's
40
cool, though,
hours.
you know what I mean?
Because not everyone's built for it.
That's what I mean. Like my family was the same way. My brothers, I got 2 brothers who work their asses off, and I got one that doesn't really do much of anything, and he's cool with that. You know what I
Right.
mean? As long as you're content with your
When
life,
you're comfortable,
that's
yeah.
cool, bro. Like do you? But like me personally, I'm never okay with like where I'm at in life. This past year, 21, was like the best career-wise for me. You know what I mean? I won a lot of awards. I got sponsored, but like coming into the next year, as soon as that, like obviously before New Year's, you know what I mean? Because everybody gets
Right.
this New Year, new me shit. I've never been like that, but I always had goals for that next year. All it is like 365 days to do something more than what you did in the last one. You know what I mean?
I'm a real big Andy Frisella follower, and he talks about like, because I try to do this. Like I'll set goals for the year, but I try to crush them as fast as possible so I can kind of like
It's
let off the gas.
Same
a
thing
little.
like Elon Musk says, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you take like a 10-year plan and try to push it in 6 months,
Mhm.
you're not going to make it. You're going to fail, but you'd be a lot closer,
A lot closer, yeah.
than you were if you would have just stayed at the 10-year thing. But yeah, I'm all for that too, man. I just feel like you got to have goals though,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And
you're
even
really
if you set them too
successful-
high, the worst thing that happens is you don't set them, but you still went above and beyond your peer group.
I think they should be set high,
Yeah.
personally. I feel like, you know what I mean, like, not all of them, but like, say, give yourself like me personally, I do daily goals, weekly goals, and then yearly down to like a 5-year goal. Set one of those super high. You're not
Yeah.
gonna make it, dude. You know you're not gonna make it, but you're gonna get close.
Right. I even do. I stopped doing it, but I was building like daily habits where I'd have daily goals. It's a power list.
Yeah.
I got that shit from Andy Frisella, and like, because you can tell yourself in your like subconsciously like I had a win for the day.
Right. Yeah.
And then it makes you feel better going on forward. Like even if you don't crush the big goals, you still crush a shit ton of little goals.
Yeah. I do daily goals, like nothing like too crazy. My daily goals is like I just want to help like one person. I don't even give a shit if I just open the door for you.
Right.
It makes me. It ain't. And this might sound like a douchebag thing to say, but I really don't give a shit about holding that door for you. It just made me feel good. And then I'm in a better mindset going into like that next half hour of my day. You know what I mean? Like just helping somebody, it really does like make you feel better. And that's
and it doesn't matter. Like even if you set like a super small goal, like a protein goal.
Yeah.
Like you still did something to hardwire yourself to complete something.
True.
So then you can carry that over, and that's why like they always talk about like most people that are into fitness, like they are normally successful in other realms because if you can build the discipline to like eat specifically certain amounts and train a certain way and do it for a certain amount of time, you can take that mindset and take it into like school, work, business, even like the way you treat people. Because I notice like when I'm like really healthy and I'm feeling better, I'm just like a better person to be around.
No, definitely. I mean, I feel like if you're definitely lifting and you're eating better, you're going to be better.
If you got more energy to do shit.
Yeah, if you're out drinking 5 days a week, you're going to feel like shit. You know what I mean?
Which we can talk about that too.
Yeah, we did that. We did that
So,
for a little while.
And like that's why I like
a lot of good memories though.
When we make podcasts and shit, or like me and you talk, because like we've been through every avenue.
Yeah, definitely went down.
So like we can talk about the shit, like the bad past that we had, or we grew up in the same area that these other people use as an excuse, and we were in like dark times with the exact same people.
Yeah,
that still have those excuses.
One of my good friends growing up, you know what I mean? That was his biggest excuse, was that he's from Mansfield. I can't do anything. I'm from Mansfield. It's too small of a city, and then he took off and moved somewhere to a bigger city, and he's still not doing shit.
Yeah,
you know
most of them end up back there too.
I'm doing not great, but I'm doing good in Mansfield. You know what I mean? It's your mindset and who you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with winners, you're gonna win too. If you don't have, like, I always was told, like, you don't ever want to be the smartest man in the room. You don't always want to be like the richest man in the room. You should always have like people around you that are like, you still got to work towards like what they're doing. You know what I mean?
You need to elevate it.
Yeah, exactly. You got to move forward and
I think, but
surround
like,
yourself with different people.
Mansfield, like the city itself sucks, but if you think about it, it's like a really nice, like, because you got Cleveland to you and Columbus. So like if you networked right, you could do a lot of big things.
Oh, definitely, bro. And there's huge people that came out of this town that like most people don't even know about. You know what I mean? You got boxers that came out of here, people that have been on the UFC, like Ultimate Fighter stuff, and I know like some bigger business people that came out of here, but like I'm sure just there's a million more that we don't even know of. Dude.
That one dude like that owns a burger company, he was like really successful in poker.
Yeah. And
then he opened up the Gemini.
Old David Harmon.
But most people don't even know who he is because like, they just look at the burger company as it's just another business owner.
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of how he likes to carry himself. Right. He's not in the limelight like that, which is smart. You know what I mean? But super successful dude. And he's not much older than us, I don't think. I think he's only like a year or two older than I am, I think.
Yeah, because Ryan Kipp, he went to school with them or some shit.
Yeah,
so
he went
he's
to
only
school with Cody too.
Yeah, he's only a couple years older than us.
I mean, you got that guy. You got multiple people around here doing their thing. Brennan, he's doing his thing. He took off to Florida, tried to do it out there for a little bit.
He didn't like it though, right?
No, I don't think he liked it. And then, from what I know, he's back here, but he's still doing his thing. You know what I mean? You can't really talk about that industry and his name got brought up.
Right.
So
it's really all
super
boils
successful
down to
people around here that started here.
It's like they all had the consistency to keep going.
Yeah.
Like, because I know a lot of people, like we were talking about, like boxers coming out here. Like, look how long Chase has been boxing.
Oh yeah, even before Chase
starting to like make a name now. But
there's
like
the Salsa Brothers, and then there's like the Prince dude. He was from around here, and then I mean all them dudes. That dude just had a fucking street named after him and shit.
Dude, there's two really big brothers from Ashland. They went real viral for like coming out to the dad about being gay.
Yeah. And
they're like huge TikTok influencers.
That's what I mean, dude. It doesn't matter where you're from. It really doesn't. I watched one of my coworkers, Demetrius, man, he came from nothing. Literally nothing. Like me and his past is so much alike. And now, dude, he's hired by the city to do paintings around all over the place. You know what I mean? He's got one on every park. He's got the one on 4th Street. The Mansfield Art Museum is about to come down and like sign a little thing with them to start doing paintings for them. Like, it doesn't matter where the fuck you're from, bro. Because if you're not grinding here, you ain't gonna grind no different in LA. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. There's no difference. Only thing that's different out there is it's really gonna suck because shit costs more out there.
Yeah, and you're
like you're really
starting from scratch. At least here you can start with a network.
Yeah, you just gotta have good people around you.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of like, look how big like the Paul brothers are huge right now. They're from Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I didn't even think about them, but yeah, they're from
and they're huge, dude. And they all started on TikTok. Like, they started on Vine because that was before, but it's the same shit.
Yeah, you got a fucking YouTube that's like taking over the boxing industry.
Yeah,
Which is crazy as fuck. I'm not hating on it, but like, dude can't even box nearly as good as some of these guys who like been putting in those years. Dude. Yeah. That's whether you like them or not, you're talking about.
Yeah. That's the same way, like, a lot of people, because I've tried this, like, a lot of people tell me, like, I do my business approach too aggressive, but then when I try to do the nice person route, I literally watch myself go like this.
Yeah.
So, like, how you, like, the people that are telling me I'm doing it wrong are when I try to fix it and try, because I tried it once, I'm like, fuck it, I'll try it the other way, and I literally lost money. Because, like, people like that aggressiveness and, like, that drama filled. Like, if not, like they wouldn't watch TV, bro.
Definitely with your industry, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, like, even, like, with their industry, it's both physical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it comes to, like, physical things, they don't want you to be quiet.
Yeah, quiet and, like, really passive.
They want you to be fucking in your face about it and shit. Like, me personally, I'm lucky I got a job where it really doesn't matter what.
Yeah, really.
You know what I mean? It's more or less, like, my work.
You guys honestly don't
carry
even,
myself.
like, tattoo shops really honestly don't even need social medias because word of mouth travels so fast.
You do, but you don't. You know what I mean? Because like obviously like that shit's getting huge nowadays.
Right.
That's how a lot of people sell themselves to people that want to travel.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of artists or clients that call themselves collectors and they just travel to you to get tattooed and shit, which is super dope. But we don't have to be like super in your face about like, you know what I mean? We don't have to be on social media every day. We can just throw a little something here and there, a little tattoo out there, just like letting people know that we're still here. And they'll come.
And most clients will post their own.
Yeah, they can post their own.
And then people are like, where'd you get that from?
Half the time you got a lot of your regulars that they're booking 3-4
Right.
appointments every time they get tattooed anyways. So that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, it just depends on the industry, really.
Yeah, it's definitely an industry thing.
Like, my brother's never on social media, but he runs a tree service, and it's all just, like, Google and word of mouth.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't need social media.
And you can't really drive around Mansfield without seeing a Daniel Perry truck anyways, you know what I mean?
No,
you
not
see
really.
that shit everywhere.
Same thing with Dylan Mullins. He's got that roofing company, All American Roofing.
Yeah.
Bro, you see them vans everywhere now. Like, I can't drive down the road without seeing them.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things I want to do. Like we were talking earlier when we were lifting is the billboards.
Yeah.
I definitely want to get a billboard out here this coming year.
Same thing. I want to get my car wrapped. My brother told me that's like the best thing he's ever done was get his stuff wrapped.
Oh yeah.
It's 24/7 advertising.
24/7 advertising. You can probably write off
Yeah, you
all
can.
that shit too.
It is.
You know
It's
what I
a
mean?
huge write-off.
Gas, insurance.
Because then it's all
moving
advertising.
That's why every time we go out to eat, I don't give a shit where we go, dude. I'm dropping a business card. You know what I mean? This is a business meeting now.
Yeah.
It's just smart ways to write off on your taxes and stuff. Little tricks.
I do sometimes, like, especially when I was trying to grow my business. Now it kind of like grows itself because I've been around so long. I would like purposely go out and like tip a decent amount, like more than most people, so they would like in their head start thinking like, who the fuck is this dude?
Yep.
Or like I would go out and give free vouchers and I'm like, well, who's this? And they look it up, like, because you got to keep like people like wondering like what you do, because if not,
you just got to want to keep growing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's the hardest thing is like not because like I guess it goes back to motivation too, is not becoming complacent. You know what I mean? Like how do you wake up and like, all right, I'm cool. You know what I mean? I did enough this today, or I did it. That's my hardest thing is like get to 5 o'clock and you're like, fuck, I already did so much today. I still need to do more though. You know what I mean? Like for me, like towards the evening time and stuff, on days where I got my kids and stuff, I'll be like, damn, I already tattooed today. I already did stuff at the barbershop. You know what I mean? Because that place isn't open yet all the way. So like I did stuff over there today, but. And you know what I mean? Like, you hang out with your kids and stuff, but it's like 5 o'clock, everybody else is relaxed, and it's like, shit, I still need to read. Dude, I still need to draw. You know what I mean?
Like, drives me crazy because people are like, I don't have the time. Like, bro, we were literally, like, back, like, a year ago, would go straight from work to working on the tattoo shop, to still work out, and then still take care of our kids, still get our kids ready for school the next day. And, like, I know my daughter was in gymnastics, and your kids are always in sports.
Yeah.
So, like, the fact when people are like, well, there's just not enough time, like, their time management.
When we were building that shop, dude, we went from, we would work, you'd do your day-to-day stuff, your work.
Like 16 hours.
You know what I mean? Do our work or whatever. We'd go there, we'd all be working and stuff, have our kids there with us, take care of our kids while working on the place, remodeling it, and, you know what I mean, get fucking 4 hours of sleep before you get back to work for your normal job.
And I still worked out every day.
You know what I mean? You still live.
Like, I don't, just, if you really want it bad enough, you'll find the time. Like, that's the thing.
But it goes both ways, though, you know what I mean? If you really want an excuse bad enough, you'll find that fucking excuse. You know, that's the shitty part about that, is that could definitely go both ways.
I mean, there has been, like, very select few people, because, like, I normally do, like, a time management on people. Like, I'll be like, send me your schedule for the day. Like, there was this one lady, I swear to God, it was like every 30 minutes she had something going on. Because she had some, like, grandkids, kids. And, like, that, okay, I get it. But you can still eat a certain way to where you can, like, see your results.
Right.
Like, because at the end of the day, no one's forcing you to eat fast food.
No, definitely not. That was actually, like, I haven't eaten any fast food in the last, like, 2 months. That was probably the best decision I made, you know. It's just, like, obviously you're going to look better if you quit eating that. But you're going to feel better. You know what I mean? You're going to feel less sluggish. You're going to think better. Like, everything's just more clear once you do that.
The only thing that sucks about when you quit is if you ever eat it again,
oh, yeah,
it destroys you.
You're going to feel like shit.
Your body doesn't know what to do with it anymore.
But I'm big on that, too. Is just, like, taking random things out of your life. Like,
yeah.
I just quit smoking cigarettes. Quit drinking alcohol. You know what I mean? Obviously, we went on, like, a 2-year bender while fucking somehow keeping our lives together. But,
it was on the brink for a second.
Yeah,
but like, I do the same thing. Dan Brazilian was just talking about that. Like, he's thinking about, like, he wants to shave his beard and wear a mask and be a Walmart worker for 6 months and live off that salary.
Yeah, dude.
To, like, reprogram himself to, like, actually.
If you got it like that, dude, more power to you.
Because he wants to, like, enjoy his money again. He said, like, now it just feels like every day.
I feel like if you did that, you'd enjoy, like, just life from a different view.
And the little things again.
Yeah, you just enjoy life from a different view, which would be kind of cool.
Because I was doing the same shit though, like, because like when I was making a lot of money, bro, we were going to the bars.
Yeah,
I was blowing like $200 a night, like every.
It just popped up on my Facebook memories. We were in there, and there was a wedding party at Clubhouse downtown, and we bought everybody in their shots twice. It was like fucking 100 people shots twice, and I'm like, what in the fuck, dude? Like, granted, you know, I mean, you're making good money or whatever, but that shit could have been invested into something else.
Yeah, easily.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I could have took my kids on a fucking trip instead of bought other people in the bar a fucking shot.
I mean, I used to do the same thing, like buy everybody shots, everybody drinks. My tab would be like $200-300.
Oh yeah.
I think the most I ever spent in one night.
I remember when we were drinking all the damn time, we'd like be racing up there to see who fucking pay for each other's beer and shit first. You know?
And we used to spend a lot of money on food.
All the time. Go out to eat 3 times a week.
I think one of my biggest tabs, bro.
Or 3 times a day.
In the middle of a week, like I went like $800 in Mansfield doing nothing.
Yeah,
like,
nothing.
Some crazy stuff. I was just like, there was a point where it was just blowing money.
Yeah, I mean, I remember a few times working on your sleeve that we'd just go up to that place in Shelby and eat.
Yeah, dude.
A real nice restaurant and stuff. Sit up
there, like $150 on drinks and food.
Just drink a beer too,
and then keep drinking.
Yeah, go back, finish up the sleeve.
And we did that religiously. But like the same thing we were just talking about, like we built that pattern in our heads. It became like a norm, so we just kept doing it.
Yeah, that goes back to the red car thing.
And then you got to break the pattern.
Yep, exactly.
Like now, I try to save all my money to invest it back into my business, because like I want to I don't even care like if some crazy if I pulled off 1,000 clients a month and that's like $100,000 a month. I literally want to put 95,000 back into my business.
Yeah.
Like I don't even care about profit anymore. It's really about building like the name as big as I can now. Like that's what I want to do.
Make it a household name.
Yeah. Like because I mean I'm pretty well known around here and like Cleveland, Columbus, and like people that I was in the Marine Corps with, like the little cities, because like they like their parents, their cousins, or whatever. But like I want to do like because I just paid for SEO, which is like working on my national level.
What is SEO?
So it's like your website, right, has like fundamental like core values behind it,
right? That
they can push and they go write articles in different places and they drop like certain city locations with keywords, and then you'll start popping up on like the Google Snack Pack. Like let's say like I googled grocery stores near me and it shows the first 3. It's called the Google Snack Pack. So SEO, the more you pay for it, like the more hours they work on it, it will start to get you in that Google Snack Pack in different cities. And I just worked. It's called Level Up SEO. He's working on. It's kind of expensive, but it takes 6 months. But he's working on, not national level, but statewide. So where like when someone Googles online personal trainer or personal trainer, I'll be in the top 3.
That's dope.
Like I won't be number 1 on everyone because like it's almost impossible. But I'll at least be in the top 3, which is where 70% of the clicks come from.
That is dope. That's another thing with motivation too, man. Like how many fucking trainers you know that are at like all these gyms around town that aren't even thinking about doing shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they just become complacent with where they're at. Like, oh man, I got enough clients. You know?
Yeah. It does get overwhelming though, but I mean, if
you gotta take it to the next level.
If I have too many clients, like my goal is to hire like really successful clients as my coaches.
No,
like Anthony was
like people who make it through.
Yeah, like Anthony's my most successful client like to date and kept it off.
Yeah.
Like if I ever need another coach, I've already told him like you're the first one off the bat.
Right.
And I'm gonna pay him way more than 9 to 5 would pay him.
Right.
Just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Like,
And I mean, obviously he loves it too. You know
Right.
what I mean? He's been doing it, what, a couple years now, right?
yeah. Like, it's been a
I
while.
mean, he started lifting with
Year
you
and a
like,
half?
when I was lifting with you, so yeah, at least almost a year and a half, 2 years probably.
Which he's always been into
In and out.
He's got like like fitness.
Yeah.
Because he's got a couple like pretty high level belts in like mixed martial arts, karate and stuff. So he already has that background. So I guess you could use that as a scapegoat.
Well, it just makes
But
it easier.
it just shows
for
you
sure.
also that someone with that much knowledge of fitness and like athleticism can still get complacent.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, you can still put that weight on and stuff.
And
for
I've
sure.
even like had other coaches as my clients
Yeah.
because a second eye is always great to have.
I think
You know what I mean?
follow a few people on Facebook and stuff that are coaches that are you coaching them.
Yeah, there's like coaches of coaches, which like I've even done like because I wanted to take my like strength to the next level, and like it's always better to be able to talk to someone.
Yeah.
Like this because like when you get so in the moment of shit, like you kind of lose sight of what you should do because you're so focused on it, you don't realize the things you could change to get better.
Facts. That's how I am with tattooing, man. I go all the time and like try to like at least once, twice a year get tattooed by somebody that
Right.
I look up to. You
Or
know
like
what I
you'll
mean?
even go and like network with them just to
Yeah,
talk about that.
just network with them, go guest spot or whatever, you know what I mean? Or just even at shows, I'll go over
Yeah.
and just stop at their booth, talk to them. You know what I mean? 'Cause, like, you got to go outside of your comfort zone to
Right.
like continue to get better and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely some really good artists at my shop, but like, I got to go see these people that are like doing the same style I'm doing to like just see where their mind's at. You know what I mean? Like, what do you like? Especially like one of my biggest ones, the dude did my head, Paul Hicks. Like, that dude's been in the game for so long and he's killing it, and he's older than I am, and he's still fucking killing it. And you're like, he's not slowed up at all.
So his daughter came to my house,
Yeah,
and they're like my cousins or something.
that's dope.
Because I know a lot of the Hickses, but I didn't know he was related to. She's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're my cousin. I'm like, who?
That
What's your
dude's
dad?
one of the most like impressive people, man. It's like, especially he's battled so much like physical health and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and he just like still stays so like diligent about his work. Like his tattoos are always so fucking good, and it's like, what are you doing, dude? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what is your day to day to like with drawing or just like art or whatnot to like make you want to keep getting better that far in the game? And like I look up to that shit a lot because that's where I want to be. You know what I mean? Like. A lot of the younger guys that are coming up in this town and shit for tattooing, you know what I mean? I want to be that guy that they're looking up to and
Right.
shit. And I know that that's a lot of work. For
See,
sure.
I do the same thing. Like I've met with like Joe James, Mike Todd, like I've supported Harry. Like if you're a good person in the industry and you actually have knowledge, like I still want to like if you don't want to work with me, you could work with them.
Oh,
But at
for
least
sure.
you're going to someone that actually has like the skill set and the mindset to actually help you. Because there are a lot of coaches. Like if I see, I'm not gonna like call their names out, but there's like some like pretty overweight like coaches and like Snap Fitnesses and like other places, and like they're preaching this on Facebook,
Right.
and but then like they're coming to me, and they're like will you help me grow my business? But like I can't put my name out there for someone
Right.
that doesn't look like they live that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah. That's how a lot of, I see that in tattooing too, you know what I mean? It's the same thing. You can tell, and I'm not going to do it either, I won't put anybody's name out there like that, but you can tell who's in it for like the money
Right.
and who's actually like in love with the shit, like has a passion for it. You know what I mean? Like me personally, I've always said like I didn't always take my shit serious, but the minute I did start taking this serious, tattooing became every little bit of who I am. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I will be anywhere doing anything, and I will drop my shit to tattoo your fucking face because I love ruining lives. You know what I mean? Like tattooing is who I am as a person.
It's a
You know what I
couple
mean?
people
Like,
on
I'm
Mansfield
obsessed with that shit.
tattoo just for drugs, bro.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
my
Tattoo
my
for-
arm was fucked up. From
Yeah,
somebody.
tattoo for drugs, tattoo for, you know what I mean? Because they just think it's fast money or whatever. You know what I mean? Me personally, I think it's bullshit. I feel like that's what's ruining our industry, like tattoo industry. But you know what I mean? I think we need more people that are in love with the shit.
Happens everywhere though. Like people see people making money off it, and they're like, I can do that. If they can do that, I can
for
do it.
sure.
But then they don't realize the time and the effort they got to put into
For
it.
sure. Yeah, I mean, fuck, dude. It's 9:30 at night. We're doing podcasts trying to help out
Right.
other people and shit. I'll probably still go home and draw for another hour after this. You know what I mean?
Same, like there's so many fly by night, like construction, plumbing,
Yeah.
tree services, like anything that like all it takes is an LLC and a little bit of knowledge. Like
Shit, the
They
big
try
thing
to
right
do
now is
that.
like the food trucks and
yeah,
shit like that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good ones around here that are super successful, but I mean, there were so many people doing that when they were doing the PPP loans.
yeah.
You know what I mean? People just taking money and
starting it.
thinking they could do something with it, but like they didn't even like research it all the way to like make it successful.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to research that shit.
Especially like if you're a shitty worker in general, like, and you just don't have the mindset to be a good worker, like you're never gonna go. Like people are like, oh, I just don't like having a boss. But if you already had a shitty, like I forget who it was. It was some TikToker. I think it was Andy Frisella actually. Like if you're flipping burgers, bro. You better flip the fuck out of those burgers because when you leave that burger flipping place, that mindset will follow you, right?
For sure.
Because I had this shitty worker that no longer works with me, and like he thought he was gonna like start this like business in like the craftsman world. Like, bro, you don't have the mindset to take what you have your thought pattern right now is never gonna work in the business world because it's harder, bro, and you work more hours and it's less money at first.
Yeah. That's what I don't know. I never really understood. Like, I wish I was my own. I don't know. I guess I was like that too for a while. I wish I was my own boss, but as soon as I became my own boss, I was like, "Oh, this is fucked."
Yeah,
it's
a lot more work, bro.
You know what I mean? I'm constantly working. Mm-hmm. It never stops. And who are you gonna call off to? You know what I mean?
And like,
because as soon as you like try to take a day off, like me personally, I can't take a day off because I take a day off and I'll instantly start thinking about like what I should have got done.
Right.
Is everything going smooth? You know what I mean? I could have been this much further along in a project. I'm getting this business open or doing this or doing that. You know what I mean? You can't take a day off. It's easier when you work for somebody else and you're just like, fuck it. Yeah, I'm not coming in today. I'm taking a sick day. I'll be in tomorrow. And you have no feelings towards doing that because you're not, you know what I mean? If you work at a factory, you call off. You're not thinking about those products at the factory. But when it's your factory, and you don't go to work, you care. You know what I mean? You want to know what's going on at that place. Like that's as soon as we got done lifting today, dude. I mean, I went right over to the tattoo shop, seeing what was going on,
just to check it out.
Not that I'm worried about what they're doing, like quality wise, but I just love being there. I need to know what the fuck's going on.
Because it starts to get weird, like when you don't like. When you're in it for so long, you've been working so many hours. Like when it's finally time to like you can relax. It almost feels like you can't because you don't know what else to do.
Yeah, I feel like that's like. My grandpa, when he retired, you know what I mean? He like became like real like fragile and like fucking. I mean, it ended up killing him. But like, I think it was because he worked his ass off for so long. That's what they always say. Like people who retire, they always end up dying. It's like you're never actually going to be able to enjoy the shit. You're never going to know how to slow down.
Bro, like as soon as my dad retired, he went back to work and worked for my brother.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and
tree work is hard as fuck.
That's one of the good things about like, it's good to be motivated. It's fucking awesome. But like, I don't think it'll ever actually stop. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'll probably be 60, 65, and I might not be hustling like I am now. I might not be doing all the shit I'm doing now, but I'm going to be doing some.
A lot of people with like high capacity mindset like that, they like once they finally get to the age where they can't work, they get super suicidal.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to do something. Like I've even thought about it. Like when I get to that age, like sketchbooks, you know what I mean? Like come out like volume 1, volume 2 sets. I love reading and writing. Like I'll fucking write some more books and shit. Like
a person with a hustling mindset when they get old, that's like a runner losing his legs.
Yeah, bro.
Like you just, what else are you gonna do? Like,
I feel like you just gotta like, once we get older, you're gonna have to like switch. It's gonna be harder for you, honestly, because your industry is fitness, so it's all physical. Our bodies aren't gonna move like that. It's gonna have to become a lot more of a mental thing.
Mental, yeah.
But I guess that's the shit we get to look forward to.
My goal is just to invest. Like I know, obviously, fitness isn't gonna be forever, so my goal is to like change it up to like I like building businesses because I got my 6 Sigma black belt, which is like project management, shit like that. Right. It's like eventually like I want to like scale my business so high and then sell people that exact blueprint and teach them how to like scale online businesses and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because I like when you can help someone get out of there. Like the coolest conversation I ever had is this dude started flooring. He's from Loudonville. He like I haven't talked to him in like 10 years. He's like, hey man, can you call me? I called him. He's like, I'm making this much. I'm working at this job. Like, what do you think I should do? I'm like, bro, you should quit your job right now. Yeah. And that same night, he woke up the next day and put his 2 weeks in. And like, to be able to have conversations like that with people is like probably like the best feeling I've ever had. Because like they're no longer, because a lot of people get depressed because they get stuck. Yeah. But then even when they're building extra income, they're scared because of the solidify, like their life is so solidified with the income they're making now. Like even though they're making more on the side, like this can always go away. Yeah, you could get hurt and then you couldn't do that shit no more. Oh, but at least when you're working, you got workman's comp, unemployment, all that shit. So it's always a big leap. But like as a business person, especially if you don't have a job, like right now I have a job and I run a business, so I'm always good. But it's mainly I stayed at my job for insurance. Like Zella, like she has like this weird lump thing. Like I left and I went and worked with somebody else, and I didn't have insurance, bro. I got like $15,000 in hospital bills.
Yeah.
Like, and we had to pay that shit out of pocket, which.
Yeah, that's
the VA's coming back and paying for some of it, but like if I didn't like save retroactively, knowing that some shit like that could happen, like that 3 months of how sick she was because she got life flight and a bunch of other shit could like bankrupt me easily.
Oh, for sure.
And most business owners, like especially like when they make the leap, they don't think about shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't think too much into that either when I did it either. I mean, I wish I would have.
Right.
I wish I would sit here and say that I did, you know what I mean? Because I guess I would be smarter, but I kind of jumped in like that too. I didn't really think it out too much, but like that. And my
all
kids
over some tissue.
Yeah, all over the tissue. Petty as hell. Fuck. That's a me problem. I'm trying to work on that. That's some me shit.
It worked though.
It did work, but you know what I mean. That was one thing. Like my kids' mom did. She's a business owner too, so you know we had to like go get a medical card and stuff like that for the kids. Luckily, our kids are like super healthy, so we don't have to worry about shit too much.
So, yeah, dude, that's the crazy thing. Like, Cali Muscle, you know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
He just had a heart attack. He said like he never went to the doctors ever because like he made money, but like without insurance, it's just so expensive, especially like California.
Oh, bro, the only thing on my fucking credit score right now is fucking.
Like you could be making like $50,000-$60,000 a month,
shit,
bro. But like one $50,000 hospital bill will wreck your business. Like
wreck you.
That's what people don't get. They're like, oh, like these jobs, like a $15 an hour employee does not cost the company $15 an hour.
No,
it costs them way more
than that.
You know, they got insurance, workman's comp, unemployment, plus the taxes they pay on your paycheck.
Yeah,
like all that shit. So it really costs like 20, 25, depending on how good your benefits are, plus matching the 401k.
Right.
So like people are like, well, they need to just pay $50 an hour, $40 an hour. Like, bro, these businesses only make like a 10% profit. So if they started paying that much, all these places that people love going to are going out of business.
Yeah, they'd be bankrupt.
And Amazon's going to be the only running fucking company still.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to storefronts anymore, and people are going to buy more off them.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. There's a lot that goes into that shit too, man.
Yeah.
Just
like,
keeping a business running and
yeah.
like actually making people like. That was my hardest thing, honestly. It was making people like not want to stay and work for you, but like make them feel like they're appreciated. You know what I mean? Like that's been my hardest thing within this year. You know what I mean? Is just trying to like make everybody realize like how much you actually do give a fuck about having somebody working with you,
right?
And stuff like that.
I learned like a long time ago though, like because I've been a boss for a long time. It's like no matter how good you treat somebody, some people just have it in their heads that they need more.
Oh, I've definitely figured that out too.
Like they want this, they want this, they want this. Like they need this, they need promoted before this person because of this. Like if you're counting your work ethic against other people's work ethics at a normal job, that already goes to show me that you're not doing it to be because you're like built to be a good worker. You're doing it to like impress the person above you, and then once you get there, you ain't gonna do shit.
Right. Yeah.
Because I see that all the time.
Once you run out of people to impress, pretty much you
ain't doing shit anymore. And then you're gonna like come back down the ladder.
Yeah, you'd be like a good gatekeeper employee type thing.
Pretty much, bro. Because like I've seen it, and then like as soon as like someone gets told something they don't like, all of a sudden like they flip script and stop doing the good shit they were doing.
Yeah, and that really sucks because you know that they're capable of doing better.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've dealt with that shit too.
Because like you can be told no. Like when I first went to my job, like I went and interviewed for one position, but they offered me a different position, and then I proved myself and got that position.
Right.
So like, as long as you actually keep that same mindset and you prove yourself over and over again, eventually you will get what you want.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to go and be an entrepreneur. Like I think people think like when I talk about this shit, like I feel like everyone should be an entrepreneur. No, but I do feel like if you go out and save a little bit of money, go get a certification, save a little bit of money, you can at least leave the job that you fucking hate and get a better paying job that you might like more.
Yeah, I mean definitely. You're gonna need like not everybody can own businesses and shit. You need people to like have a normal job. You know what I mean? And they're not. Fuck, dude. Some of them are probably making more money than we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's definitely some jobs out there where you can make some money, but you should always want to continue to move up in life or in that job. And you know what I mean? Your job, I guess that's what we always go back to is like when we say move up in life, like your job just takes up so many of your life.
Right.
A lot of that significance is your job, but like, there's other shit you can be doing in life too that makes you feel like you're leveling up. reading, lifting, you know what I mean? Eating healthier, cutting out bad habits, holding yourself accountable for bad shit.
Yeah.
That's one thing I told myself this year. Like I said, I'm not about that new year, new me shit, but I always give myself goals, yearly goals, and my yearly goal for this year is just hold myself accountable for all my bad shit that I do. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has bad behaviors, bad traits, and I'm just trying to hold myself accountable for those and, like, grow from that and, like, become better. You know what I mean? That's all you can do each day is become better version of yourself, which is hard when you're actually true and honest with yourself.
It is. Most people can't self-reflect. And I was watching, I think his name's Alex Hermani or something like that. Like, there's entrepreneurs and then there's intrapreneurs, which they have an entrepreneur work ethic, but they're doing it inside of a company. And he said that he's had entrepreneurs try to leave to do entrepreneurship, but once they become their own boss, they like shit the bed.
Oh yeah.
Like sure. So like you can take the entrepreneurial mindset if you don't feel comfortable enough to leave somewhere and actually climb up the ladders and the ranks inside of a company and still better your life.
Yeah.
Even if you only go from a floor worker to a shift lead, like you improved your life.
Oh yeah, and you're gonna feel.
I don't care. I don't even care if it's only 50 cents more an hour. Like you still did something to prove to yourself to why you can get to this point.
Just that you hold value. You know what I mean?
That's
somebody else values you.
Because at the end of the day, your job and what you do is like you're selling yourself for X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
Like if I tell you I'll pay you $21 an hour, that's what I think you're worth an hour.
Right.
So you need like the people that want to stay motivated, that like are on the fence about it. Like even if you don't want to go into entrepreneurship, like there's multiple levels of like, you know, buying and selling cars to like improve your life, to then pay for certifications, to then like use that certification like, hey, Mr. or Mr. whatever, like I've done this the last year, I've got these certifications, like I feel like the company would do better with me in this position. And if they tell you no, go to a different job, but don't just leave your job because you hate it. Like find that job first, then take the lead.
Yeah.
And then just keep stepping up on the stepping stones that way. If you don't ever feel comfortable about, you know, entrepreneurship or bouncing altogether, because like there's multiple avenues of like improving your life, or learn how to invest your money. If you never get promoted again, but you get 3% raises every year, take that 3% and invest it into something, and then you have money that way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like we have like one of the a fucking ways, spaceship in our pocket now. Like our phones are smarter than the first spaceships. Yeah. You can teach yourself anything if you just quit telling yourself like I'm from Mansfield, I can't do shit.
Yeah.
Because I hear that shit all the time, like
I got so many kids.
Yeah, I forget where I was at. I think it was like
know.
Starbucks or something. I heard these two people talking, and the dude was like, I'm just getting to get it. Like, they're pretty much were saying like, we're never gonna get anywhere because it's not meant for us to get anywhere. And that mindset is why people stay there, because we're all from the exact same place, and there's a million, not a million. Mansfield's not that big, but there's at least 5,000 people in the city that made something of themselves, that are super successful, that live way above the poverty line.
Oh, for sure.
Like. There's tons of people that make $100,000 a year in Mansfield, which is a lot of money for the cost of living.
Yeah, I mean, there's good jobs around here.
Yeah,
honestly, there's always new construction. There's always the hospitals. Vita's like taking over half Ontario.
Dude,
you know what I mean? Like
where the plant manager at, bro, they pay forklift drivers $21 an hour.
Yeah, fucking, you can go to McDonald's and get $19 an hour.
That's crazy, bro.
Nobody wants to work. That's the fucked up part. You
then,
get
like,
a cheeseburger.
Let's say like, okay, so you leave a job making 13, and now you're at 18. Live off the 13 still, and take the extra $5 an hour and invest it into yourself. I mean, eating better, getting certifications, or just doing something to improve yourself. And then, you can take that next ladder to a $21 an hour job. Right. Now live off the 18, save the extra 3, and just keep. That's literally what I did since I got, like, when I first moved home from the Marine Corps, I was making $13 an hour.
Yeah.
And now I'm on a salary of money that I never ever pictured myself making, like ever. Like when I was younger, I remember I used to think like the pottery was like the shit, because that's what they sell you around this area.
Oh,
like
sure.
Pottery is the best job. Like places like that, and like you can make so much more money.
But you're gonna work your ass off there.
If you just use your brain and work hard, you can like work your way up anywhere. The corporate ladder, it becomes a salesperson. Dude, salespeople make a killing.
Yeah,
like there's companies that pay sales people bonuses more than motherfuckers' whole yearly salary.
Yeah, yeah, or just any trade job, dude. Any trade job, you're gonna make a killing. You know what I mean? They'll start you out in an apprenticeship around $15 an hour.
Yeah,
and then you're gonna top out at like, I mean, technically you're gonna top out somewhere, but like you're not. It's gonna be so much more than that.
That's what kind of bugs me.
Foremans and everything else, you're probably making
About,
30,
like,
32 an hour.
Like, I know some people went through some shit in the military. That's what bugs me about some veterans that, like, they get out and then do the poor me thing. Like, there's so many benefits you could fucking use. Like, they'll pay you to be a journeyman in anything. So you get the stipend for college, which is like $1,100 a month.
Yeah.
Plus your hourly wage. And then $1,100 is untaxed.
Yeah.
Do that for 2 years, and then you get your certification in whatever you want. Go be a plumber, anything. And then you are living a better life than 95% of the people, because plumbers make a lot of money.
Oh, for sure.
But,
Especially
like,
if you're getting like a union or something like
Yeah.
that, dude, you're making bank.
Like, it's just
Good
not
ass
like a
insurance and
sexy
everything.
job. Like, people like, well, it's really the influencers on TikTok and shit and like YouTube that sell you like, oh, you need to be making $1 million a year. You ain't shit. Like,
yeah, dude, and that's not a fucking normal thing.
and they're
by any
lying.
means.
They're lying.
You know what I
Only
mean?
1% of the
That's not a
population makes
normal
more than
thing.
$400,000. So you're telling me all these fitness influencers, TikTokers, like all making over $400,000 a year when only
Right.
1% of the population does?
Yeah.
Like, all these gurus, like, I see it all the time, especially because I'm into fitness. So there's coaches that sell coaching plans to coaches to, like, how to build their business.
Right.
And the only reason they're making money is because they're selling you this false dream.
Yeah.
And there's TikTokers that do the same thing. They're like, oh, I'll teach you how to get 100,000 TikTok followers. But they paid for the followers, and then they sell you a $5,000 plan. And they take that $5,000 and buy followers.
Yeah, and those
And-
followers are all just robots.
Yeah, and
It's
that's
not real.
but, so they're
interactions
selling
with
you
real
this
customers.
false persona, and they really are making, $200,000-$300,000 a year, but they're making it off selling you something that's not even real.
Yeah, selling you bullshit.
Yeah, like, and there's so many people like that. Or
There's a
they'll
lot of
sell you
people
like
on tattooing to do that shit too.
Yeah.
Buy their followers, buy their likes.
they'll sell you a wholesale class, but they've never even wholesaled anything.
Yeah.
That's real big. Like, people talk. I mean, wholesaling's real. People can do it. I know people that do it. But there's a lot of people that sell the classes because they just regurgitate the information they had. Then they take that money and they buy real property with the class money, and they never wholesale.
yeah,
they
yeah.
never wholesale anything.
Yeah,
They just they made $100,000 by selling these classes, and they went out and bought two $50,000 houses,
Right.
and now they're landlords. Like, that is so common. Like, especially like because they go and they'll rent a Lamborghini for like $1,500 for the day.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like there's
Yeah.
so many people that like try to act
Mhm.
flashier, like that they live that type of life.
But that's been around forever because like 50 Cent said it in one of his interviews. He's like, most rappers are broke. They're
Oh.
renting all that shit in all those videos.
Bro, Frank Lucas, an American Gangster.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He's like, I didn't
Yeah.
get caught up until I started being flashy.
yeah.
And it was his fucking brother or whatever that got him caught up.
It's
That dude
just
was
crazy.
chill as fuck. He was making more money than we'll probably ever touch in our
Yeah.
life.
But pretty much like the point of like all these podcasts, I just want people to realize like there's more to life, and they can do more things if they just stop making excuses.
Yeah,
That's
you gotta
it.
Stop making the excuses and just make it fucking happen, man. You got one life, you got to make it
That's
happen
it.
one way or the other. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter where you started out, where you came
Yeah.
from.
I'm
As
no
long
one
as the,
special, bro.
As long as the end game is all the same,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It don't matter where you start at.
It really doesn't.
Nobody,
I'm no one
and nobody
special,
gives
bro.
a fuck about your status either.
I
so.
used to be a piece of shit, an alcoholic, bro. When I was growing up, I played video games like 14 hours a day.
Yeah,
Like,
I
there was nothing in me special. I was never good at like a lot of sports. I was never like an all-star at everything. But then like I started teaching myself, and I got better. Like, I'm pretty decent at everything I do now. But that's because anything I put my hands on, like, I take my full focus and do that.
you just give a fuck.
Yeah.
Just
And
care.
like there was nothing like special in my life. No one like taught me this. Like, you just have to wake up and want it. Like, you
Yeah.
just have to want it in yourself.
I
Because
think that's where what helped me get to where I'm at now is just like so many people doubted me for so long. Like, didn't
Yeah.
think that I'd be able to do it, and like, oh, he's having all these kids and he's doing this or whatnot, and then they just like, oh, he's a high school dropout. He's never gonna amount to shit. You know what I mean? He's gonna either be in prison or he's gonna be in a factory the rest of his life. That eventually you just get tired of hearing it, and like in yourself that you're worth more than
Right.
that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you made mistakes. Not that any of my children are mistakes, because they're not
Right.
by any means, because they're the whole reason I hustle as hard as I do now. But like, all right, I made mistakes, but that's not who I am as a person. Like, I am better than that.
Right.
And eventually you get tired of fucking hearing it, and you got to start proving it, and you get obsessed with, like, proving people wrong. That was me personally. I just got obsessed with, like, constantly seeing the shock value on people's faces when I made it each
Bro.
time. So I'm just like, let me try to go even bigger this time.
I do.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know it sounds egotistical, but I have written down names in my phone of motherfuckers that have like told me I would never do shit. And like, I'm not gonna give these two motherfuckers any attention, but they know who they are. And they were talking shit on the status the other day, and they said I don't make as much money as I say. I screenshotted 6 months of bank account statements.
Yeah.
I'm like, show me yours then, bitch.
Yeah.
Like money's not everything, but don't tell me I'm not doing shit, because everything I speak on social media is like I'm living that in real time.
Right.
Like I want people to realize you can do more. Like I'm not doing any of this shit to brag or do any of that. I'm trying to like the other 10 people that are messaging me, like, bro, like I finally got off my ass today because of you. Yeah. That's why I do it.
Right.
So like the 2 fucking idiots that swear up and down they're like the toughest thing, and they think they're king shit on Turd Island.
Yeah.
So I screenshotted all my bank account statements and I sent it to them, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, grow up, act your age." But it was fucking funny when you thought you was putting me on blast on Facebook statuses, bro. Like, and that's what motivates me. And I know it sounds petty, but you gotta find it was The Rock. He was like, if you don't have anger deep down inside of you, you'll never unlock your full potential. Because if you didn't use anger to get to the second part, you'll never be like more than average, because you need anger. That's just like human instinct.
Yeah.
That's the primitive version of ourselves.
Sometimes you need that shit to make you like work harder.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Travis at the shop were like, I'm like, what fuels you, dude, to make you do better every day? And he's like, spite. I run off spite, motherfucker. I'm like, shit, me too.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize it, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? When you really think back about it, it's always like 1 or 2 altercations that kind of fuel that fire, and then you just like throw in little other altercations that make you want to go a little harder.
That's literally like, I know it sounds fucking
sometimes it's fucking altercations just like with my own like self. Like I know it probably sounds crazy as fuck, but like I'll have like a day where I'm like, I'm not fucking drinking, and then I'll go drink or something. I'm hungover the next day, and it's like, fuck you, Shannon, for doing that. That was fucking retarded, man. You just threw away a whole day that you could have been you could have done so much shit with that day.
Yeah.
That was a whole other 24 hours. You could have fucking drawn. You could have fucking got more business shit mapped out. Like, so many things.
I'm definitely a low-level alcoholic, but I know it. You know what I mean? I know that's like one of my downfalls.
Yeah.
So like that's what people can't do. They can't self-reflect, and they can't like self-assess.
Yeah, that's
like
I
know that's.
I knew it was becoming a problem. That's why I walked away from it. I don't want it in my life no more. For now, I might go back to it eventually. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like once you feel like you got a good hold on it again, I might go back and visit it. Who knows?
And it's weird, bro, because like we haven't hung out a lot in like the past couple months.
Yeah.
But we both quit alcohol at the same time.
Yeah, exact same time.
And we didn't even plan it.
No.
Like I was just like, I'm not drinking no more. Oh yeah,
but I mean,
quit too.
That was. Our whole fucking relationship's been weird. I tattooed you one time, the next thing I know I was at your house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've been kicking it fucking...
No, I went to your house.
Yeah.
You
we talked about
me.
fights.
You said, hey, bro,
we're drinking beer.
We're questioning. You want to come drink? I'm like, yeah, but I'm alcoholic, bro, of course.
Of course I want to drink. Sat down and talked about fucking lifting weights in UFC.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, pretty much
That's
like...
how we always been, though.
This is like I want to like do podcasts with people like on all avenues of like different like branches of the military, different cities, different like mindsets, different like all different backgrounds, and it has nothing to do with like I'm not trying to like sound egotistical, but I want to prove to you guys that there are multiple avenues, there are multiple ways to better your life, and it doesn't matter where you came from.
For sure.
It doesn't matter where your mindset is today. It matters when you wake up tomorrow and your feet hit that fucking floor, what your mindset is from that day moving on to the next day. And you're going to get down, you're going to get upset, and you're going to want to quit, you're going to want to not do it anymore, you're going to get around people that are going to talk down on you, they're going to tell you to stop doing it.
Make fun of you.
They're going to make fun of you. They're going to tell you know how many times I heard, like, as I was grinding like, you still grinding that? You still using that small business? Like, bro, my small business makes more than your annual income. So how is it small?
They think they're, you think you're better than me now?
Right.
Or it must be nice.
Always says
shit. That's when we get that shit all the time.
Like, yeah, like it must be nice that I just worked a 20-hour day while you slept fucking 9 hours.
Yeah, must be nice, motherfucker. I'm tired. Tired as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's the whole game plan. Like, this is what I want to do moving forward. My goal is, just like we talked about goals, my goal this year is to drop 52 YouTube videos, write 365 blogs for fitness, and get myself on a billboard, which that's not really a goal. It's just a monetary value. I have to pay towards it, but it's like a little goal I set for
just something that's going to happen.
There's something I'm going to make happen.
Speak it into existence, and it will happen.
You know, I've already started working on my SEO, and then rebrand or redo my website one more time to WordPress because they optimize it better.
Yeah. And
then have X amount of clients a month. I don't even, like, the thing is, like, I charge $100, right? So even if I don't care, like, I never go past 30, that's still $3,000 a month. That's like having 5 to 6 to 7 rental properties.
Yeah,
but no overhead, right?
Definitely.
So and then I take that money and I reinvest it into something else. Because before I was so hungry on like I need 300 clients, I need 400 clients. Because I was up to like 250 clients, right? It was a numbers game. But I wasn't charging that much back then, and I was so overworked and overwhelmed because my whole day consisted of just talking to motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Now I would rather give more value to the people, charge more, and if I only ever go past 30, bro, who cares? I'm still making, that's like 6 rental properties with no overhead.
Yeah.
And like, that's the point. Like, you can just make a little bit extra and it still puts you ahead of your peers and invest it and do something else.
And it gives you more time to like be, like you said, to be dialed in with a client and like do
Dialed
what you
in.
actually love. You know what I mean? That's what I tell people at the shop all the time. You know what I mean? Like, there'll be days where things are a little more busy and like we're booking, like some of my artists will be like booking back to back to back. And I'm like, hey man, let's just slow down, dude. It's quality over the quantity. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you might lose $150, $200 that day, but that person's gonna come back to you. You know, because they got something so good. There was a good experience. You weren't stressed out about it. You know what I mean? You were just dialed in with them, talking and having a good ass time, not giving a fuck about the clock. You know
Same thing. Like, if I get 10 clients, super good results. That 10 clients will turn into 50 clients. But if I get 50 clients, mediocre results, it'll go backwards.
Yeah. Word of mouth will always be the best, man. I told everybody, like Travis and all them when they were starting out, you know, you could do 6, 7, fucking 8 good ass tattoos. Great tattoos, right? That one bad one will stare away fucking 10, 12 people. You know what I mean? Because nobody talks about the good tattoos, dude. Like, they're just like, oh yeah, I got something dope, dude. They're not going to say too much about it. But when you walk into a party and that one guy who just got tattooed and everybody's like, let me see it, and it's bad, dude, he's showing you, he's showing everybody, dude. He's showing the whole party. He's fucking Snapchatting people talking shit. You know what I mean? Like, you got to care about every little thing that you do.
And before I cut it off, my favorite Facebook post I've seen in the last couple of years, it was like a teacher that wrote down 10 answers, and 9 of them were right, 1 of them was wrong.
Right.
And her whole lesson that day was that. It was like, you guys didn't praise me for the 9 I did right, but single-handedly made fun of me for the 1 I got wrong. So I did 9 out of 10 of them correct, but somehow that 1, and that's just how society's built.
More people need to like be aware of like the way that we're hardwired to think like that. You know what I mean? Because like, that is so true. So fucking true. You can do so many things right in life and fuck up one time and, you know, that's all they're talking about.
It is.
It's unfortunate.
And they'll talk about it for years, bro.
It's very unfortunate. But, yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys.